So, fruit festivals or traveling. I think that for people who are raw vegan or fruitarian and they want to have a getaway experience or a holiday experience, then you've got a few options. You've got well, you could just go anywhere and just live your life whatever you like. Because if you're comfortable with this lifestyle, you can do it anywhere. I think you can go on a cruise ship. People tell me that cruise ships always have plenty of fruit. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that. And different holiday places have lots of fruit. I've never really seen a lot of places that had like unlimited fruit the way that you would want it to be, but people have said that. I don't know about the quality of the fruit. Holiday resorts, once again, I don't know. A lot of different places. I don't think that they'll be very fruit centric. They might be. And you could go to. I mean, I would be comfortable going almost anywhere and doing this lifestyle, right? So it wouldn't really hold me back. But what some people are looking to do is to go traveling somewhere where there is good fruit, like go to a good fruit place. And there started to be a bit of an idea a while ago that Thailand was like this amazing place for fruit, and Durian Rider put that idea out there a lot, and a lot of people have went to Thailand probably because of his influence, right? And so there's places you can go for that are potentially have some good or interesting fruits, and there are the fruit festivals, of which I run one of them, so maybe I'm a little biased. And there are retreats, and there are some raw food sort of health center places that you can go, but maybe they're more specifically for people looking for health and healing things. And obviously there's fasting places, some people go to these things as well. So there's all these different things, but to me it seems that the biggest idea is the traveling thing, and that people want to go to somewhere like Thailand and benefit from the fact that it's a third world country basically, or whatever you want to call it, so it's quite cheap to stay there, and the idea that the fruit's better, or maybe Malaysia, or maybe one of these other places. So when I was starting off in this lifestyle, and I wanted to go to the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and I went to that, and after that I went to Thailand and hung out in Thailand, and there was no comparison. There was absolutely no comparison between going to the festival and going to Thailand. And Thailand had some nice fruit, but it was I was kind of like disappointed a little bit. It just tasted like fruit to me, like the fruit tasted like fruit. And to me, the bananas weren't as good as back home. The mangoes were pretty good. I had a few good experiences with the mangoes. The papayas I quite liked the second time I went. And the durian I liked. And then I'm starting to run out of fruit that made it a big difference. I'm starting to like have to think. Mangosteens are nice, but really for me the tropical fruits, if I was to go to a place for tropical fruits, it would be like durian, chempedak, jackfruit. So going to a place with the stuff like that I could get every day would be fun, but it's not the be all and end all of life. What I do like about the tropical climates is my sleep is better in the tropics, I believe, and obviously you can get some sunlight as well, but you can get too much sunlight. I got too much in Thailand. I got actually like, I don't know if it was a heat stroke, but I was out too long, and I had to like stay indoors all day one day and do nothing. Like I was really I don't know what happened, but I almost I don't think I nearly collapsed, but obviously something bad was happening to me, right? So and it was funny because I didn't get too badly burned because I guess because I'm a raw vegan, I didn't get too badly burned. I don't know how that works. I did get burned, but just not painfully. Now, Chiang Mai is what I'm talking about, so I've not been in other parts of Thailand. Chiang Mai is just basically a city, and it's like the number one digital nomad place on the planet for some reason. I don't know exactly why, but there's a lot of like online conferences and digital events and digital marketing events that go on there, and guys that make money online that live there and stuff like that. So it's this digital nomad place. I don't know exactly why it's got that reputation. It's a fairly nice place, but to me it was just a city, and it just felt like being in a city, in another city, and you could go to the market and get fruit, and I was hanging around with some cool people, so I did have some friends there. If you were to go there on your own, I'm not really sure that that's going to be the greatest experience, until you've actually met some people and stuff. And the weather was perfect. The cycling was good because it's good to cycle on the roads and all that. The drivers are very respectful of cyclists. Thai people are very nice, but they don't speak any English, so it's very hard to communicate. And stuff is cheap. You know, you can get a place for a month for 150 or 100 or something, like, which to me isn't that much cheaper than what, to be honest, than what I spend here. So my rent here is like 300 a month, 100 for, what do you call it, council tax, utilities and all that, another bit on top of that. But in Thailand it's obviously, I guess it's maybe half that, or maybe it's even a third that, maybe it's £100 a month. You can definitely you can definitely go to a hostel and pay very little, but you're living in a hostel, so it's not really ideal. You don't feel settled, you might be moving, you might have to move out. So you really want to find a place that you can settle and be comfortable. And the idea that some people also get into is the idea of travelling, and I've never done that really. I've been to places for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I've been to America for like a month, Canada and America for like a month. I don't really enjoy travelling bump from place to place. If I was to travel, I would do it in the form of a tour or a cruise or something where I'm not having to arrange all my travel and where am I staying and all that stuff. I would rather be that's my personality, right? And I personally see going on a holiday and putting yourself under more stress as being that doesn't make sense to me. I think what you want to do is go on holiday and relax, you know, and have everything done for you to some degree. So, but I've had a lot of friends that what they've done is bought into this digital nomad idea. I like the idea, but I was always working, you know. And when I got into all this stuff, I had a job, and I didn't really like the job, but I also didn't really feel like, well, I'm just going to sack the job so I can go and travel for 3 months. Like, I don't know why that didn't seem appealing to me or whatever, but it didn't really, you know. And I don't mind the idea of going to another place, but I would want to go to another place and stay and relax, you know, or stay and not necessarily relax, but stay and be grounded so that I can work and be productive and do other things. I'm not looking to be a bum, you know, and I am a bit of a bum. Like, I'm kind of, I don't put as much work in as I should into different things, and I am a bit lazy and things like that, but I don't want to be like doing nothing. Like to me that ends up kind of depressing, and traveling and doing that kind of stuff can end up like a bit stressful and lonely. You know, I really don't think, and I see people put these Instagram pictures up, and I'm like, I'm not impressed at all. It's like, here I am on the beach, you know, and I get that a lot of you buy into this idea of like, oh, I can make money online and I'm on my laptop on the beach. Like, work isn't about your own personal pleasure, it's about doing something of meaning and value to other people. That's the whole sort of point of it. So it's not about how can I get to a place where I'm just chilling on the beach, and money's rolling in. The beach isn't a good place to work. It's too distracting. If you're looking to get things done, the beach is not the place to be. But it's a lifestyle that people sell. It's not a lifestyle that anyone does long term. No one does it long term. Like, there's no particularly successful people that do that live that as a lifestyle, and they're just traveling all the time because it's not productive. You're always uprooting yourself. Now, it is totally possible if you want to make enough money that you can just travel. It is totally possible to do that online. It takes work, but it is totally possible to do that. I wouldn't necessarily recommend YouTube, but you might be good at YouTube. You might be good at it, and you might. But a lot of people were buying into that a number of years ago, like starting a YouTube channel and going to Thailand. It's like, you need to get like millions of views to make a living on YouTube. You could really start from nothing and have 0 views a video and think that YouTube's going to start paying you for a living. And that's when a lot of people started doing coaching as well. So the YouTube channel wasn't enough, so they started offering coaching, but they were offering coaching without any experience. I saw this all happening. I know people that did it. I'm not judging them, but I know that I know that. Well, I know that was that they weren't really ready to do that, but they were doing it for just because they knew there was people that would pay them, and maybe it was worthwhile or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's a kind of a funny thing. It's a kind of a funny thing. So you get this mentality of people having this desire to travel because people have the appeal of freedom is so big to human beings. And when I say appeal, an appeal is just something that is a draw to people. It's an emotional draw. It doesn't matter that the reality of it doesn't mean anything. For example, freedom is an appealing thing, but what does it mean? Oh, we want to be free. And in the Brexit thing, that was kind of used a little bit. We want to be free from the European Union. It's like, well, what does that freedom really mean? What are we actually being free from? From something that we chose to join? From something that we had a massive influence on? From something that we had our own special terms on almost every aspect of it and think lots of things were in our favour? We're losing all that in order to have this idea of freedom, and so it's an appeal of human nature. It seems to be like a fundamental basic appeal, and it's used in all sorts of things to influence people and manipulate people, and that's what happens with this idea of travel, and that's kind of, I guess it's how travel's been sold. It's like, this is freedom. And who's it's been sold by? By plane companies, by travel companies. So that people give all their money to Virgin Airways, British Airways, Qantas, all these big corporate entities, if you want to call it that, if you're so anti-capitalist or whatever, but all these entities, in order to go and end up in an experience where you're lonely, getting depressed, you don't have anything to do, you can't get anything done because it's not a productive place, you might end up staying in a hostel, and then there's people that are like begging, the e-begging and stuff, go travelling, and then they're begging for, it's a bad thing. So there's a part of me that loves the idea of travel, loves the idea of going somewhere, but I know that it's all about internal, and for you to do this diet or be healthy, it has to be an internal thing. It has to be that you can do it in any situation. Not, oh, it's so much easier to do it in Thailand. No, it's not. It's absolutely 100% not. It's so much easier to do it in Hawaii. We've seen proof that that's not the case. It's actually more likely you're going to start eating meat, apparently, if you live in Hawaii. Hawaii. You're going to go to the, oh man, the energies. We're going to go, we need to go over the shamans and eat mushrooms and stuff and do all that stuff. A lot of those ex-vegan people are all drug addicts and stuff. No judgment, but maybe the drugs was more part of your health problems than the fruit, right? Maybe the drugs. Maybe stay away from drugs like you've always been told. So that's how I sort of. I saw through the delusion of travel really quick, super duper duper quick, and and at the end of the day as well, if you don't have a lot of money, it's an issue as well. If you've got more money, it's a little bit less stressful, I guess. But you can go and live in nice places. You can get to the airport, get a taxi from the airport, stay at the airport hotel if you need to. Make it a little bit stress free. But I'm seeing more and more people that bought into all these things, bought into minimalism, bought into the idea of having a tiny house, bought into living in a van, bought into travelling around the world and bumping from place to place, and I see so few people that actually make that into a lifestyle that they want to keep going. So few people. Because it's kind of easier to make money and then have a nice house, right? Or have a bigger place to stay. Like, it's no advantage having a tiny house or living in a van or being a minimalist when you can actually own things that you like or whatever. Like, it's not better. It doesn't unclutter yourself or whatever. And then travel doesn't really lead to this sense of freedom, but some people do have a good experience. So I can't, you do hear people saying, oh, travel has opened up something in me, it's changed something in me, and I'm not convinced that couldn't have happened in your own city. I'm really not convinced you could have just got around other people, found other people and found other experiences to be part of. I just think that the human experience is so rich wherever you are, if you actually dive into it. So what I'm getting to really is that I personally, I've went back to the Woodstock Fruit Festival 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and this will be my 8th year going back. Now, if the average ticket is $1,000, $1,500, let's say $1,500, probably 12. I don't know what, I've usually got a discount because I've gone multiple times. But that's probably at least $8,000 in the tickets, maybe $10,000 or something over the time that I've spent there. I don't get treated all that well, but I don't get any special treatment for that. But anyway, so it's probably like $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 conservatively. It's probably more than that. It might be, and the plane flights are between $500 and probably $800 each time. So that's like another 3,000, 4,000. And then staying there, hotels, different things, adds up to probably another few thousand. So it might be up to $15,000 over that time span that I've spent to be there, right? And you could say, well, you could have spent that money traveling. You could have taken a month off. Firstly, I didn't just have the ability to take all this time off. Like, I had a job, most of that time, so I wasn't able to just take all this random time off or I'm just gonna quit and go traveling. Like, that wasn't where I was in my life, right? But I made a judgment, to me, my own personal judgment, that the Fruit Festival was way more valuable than the idea of going to Thailand and traveling or Philippines or whatever. It was way more appealing, that I got way more value out of it, that I made far more friendships, that I had far more beautiful experiences. And it's always confirmed to me, like I always forget about the value of going to something like Woodstock. I always kind of forget. And throughout the year, I'm starting to think, maybe this will be the last time I'll go, you know. I've often thought that. And then I turn up, and even just from the start, even just arriving, just the feeling, it's a feeling. And that's what we can't get across to you people that don't go to these events. And like, oh, these events are expensive, or they're exclusive, or they're something or other. It's like, it's totally priceless. That's kind of the point. And it's only for the people that think it's priceless. I can understand if you would rather go to Veg Fest and walk around and everyone and there's vegan hot dogs and stalls, and if that's your thing, that's cool. But the feeling is just, for me, something that I cannot replicate anywhere else. The feeling of an actual happiness and joy that just starts from the moment I get there, even approaching the place. Just so it's good that I'm remembering all this, because I forget that. And it's just the energy of all these amazing people, just all these stories, experiences, the idea that these people are coming together at one time for one unique moment in history, and that their lives, you know, are connecting, and the kind of infinite possibilities that come out of being with a crowd of people, the infinite possibilities, the potential, the conversations. When I turn up at a fruit festival, whether it be Woodstock or Denmark or whatever, the first conversation I have when I turn up is like the best conversation of the year, you know. And that's how I feel with these people. Like, I do feel this is my tribe, you know. I do feel that these are, I don't think it's like the exact type of people that are exactly fitting with me, but in general it is a tribe of people. And I would not get that in Chiang Mai, Thailand, or blah 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 or whatever. I don't know if I'd get that at a retreat. I probably would get a little bit of that at a retreat, but a retreat is a little bit smaller. So I'm a big believer in the fruit festivals. It's why I put one together. It's not a big ego thing for me. It's not a money thing. I kind of wish it was. Like, I would be happy to make lots of money out of it, but we kind of just about always manage to cover everything, you know. It's really quite kind of a stressful thing. And then people say, oh, you're making so much money out of it or whatever, but not really. Like, we don't have sponsors that some of these other events have. We don't have lots of businesses setting up stalls trying to sell you stuff, so we don't take all that money in. So we're actually trying to make, and if Woodstock started to do that and other places start to do that, man, I think it would change the uniqueness of the experience. So I like the idea of going to nice places, but I don't really like the idea of traveling long term and kind of being out of being able to do your thing, whatever your thing is. So I'm a big believer in the fruit festivals, hugely, and the retreats. I've not been to a lot. Maybe not really been to a retreat. Been to smaller events, but they're a passion for me. I really think that if you're thinking that these events are expensive and not worth it, if you actually went to one, you would realise how wrong that is. Within hours of showing up, within the first day of showing up, you'd be like, oh, I'm so glad I came here. I'm so glad that I came here. And what people do is they say, I'll go next year, I'll do this, I'll do that. It's like, these things are so special and unique. They could all stop. All of these events could stop next year. They could all just decide, let's just stop this. Let's just leave it for now. You know, there's nothing to say that we won't or change rapidly. We could change rapidly what we do, completely what we do with the UK Fruit Fest. You know, if you want it to be a really cheap event, I'm happy to put it on in a park somewhere. You can bring your own fruit. There won't be any speakers. We'll have some blankets if that's what you want. But the reason you want to come to the fruit festival is because of everything it provides, and therefore you have to pay for that. So it's the way it works. Sometimes we have to educate fruitarians on basic economics and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a waste of time going travelling compared to the fruit festival. Waste of time. I feel sorry for people that go travelling, to be honest. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. If you are interested in coming to the Fruit Festival, go to fruitfest.co.uk/registration. You can get on a call with me and we can talk about it if it's for you. And if not, maybe we'll see you at something else. But these are special events and they might not be around forever. So check them out. Thank you very much.